self-scouring that they won't get fouled with mud. We've had quite a bit of mud around here this weekend. We're not entirely sure if that was just a sales gimmick or not. This is part of the Gould family collection. They're in Portage, Wisconsin. We've got John Gould at the throttle and Whitney at the wheel and family in tow. Any whistles, John? All right, thank you. Next up, we have another 19 and 65 horsepower Ford Huron. I've been giving 2 horsepower ratings for a lot of. You have a 19 and 65 horsepower machine. This is owned by the Miller family. We've got Seth at the controls there with his family along for the ride. Any whistles, guys? Appreciate you bringing it out, guys. Like I said earlier, Fort Huron had a couple of unique ideas of how to make the most efficient engine. These machines were produced in a time where seeing what stuck. So I'm going to have them pull up just a little bit more and I'll show you in a bit more depth just what I mean. So this machine, like I said, is a tandem compound. There is a law in physics that says a high pressure in a small diameter is equal in pushing force to a low pressure in a high diameter. As you can see here, this, even though it has one crank, actually has 2 cylinders. So steam leaves the boiler at 180 pounds of steam pressure, goes into this small cylinder, and pushes a piston that shares a common piston rod through both cylinders one direction. By the time it's completed that round of work, it's lost a little bit of heat and a little bit of energy, but it's still very useful. They don't want to get rid of it right away. So it gets exhausted to the second cylinder, where it then pushes the same piston on the same, well, a different piston on the same rod back the other direction, and by the point that's complete, it's lost pretty much all of its useful energy and is then exhausted out of the stack. So you get double the fuel economy for the same lump of coal. For a farmer, when fuel was expensive and hard to come by, that meant quite a bit. Thanks for bringing it through backwards again, guys. This is the last of our 19 and 65 horse Fort Hurons. This machine was built in 1921. It was originally owned by a gentleman named John Strupp up in Wisconsin, and he was so impressed by the efficiency of this machine, he wrote a testimonial to Fort Huron and sent in a couple of photos, and this can be found, photographs of it back in the day in the 1922 round of sales literature from Fort Huron, part of the Runty family collection out of Maple Park. Up next, we have the second Wilson's up there at the controls today. Any whistles?